Hey guys, this is Daniel Dr. D, and we're back with another review. This time we're doing a demo, several demos of the open baffle speakers you see before you. These are the Lee Audio open baffles that my buddy Bob designed and had made. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we're doing and tell you a little bit about these speakers. I did do a review. I've linked that below in the description for you guys who haven't seen or are not up to speed on what's going on. However, I'm going to reiterate a little bit about what these speakers are so you guys know. The drivers on the top are the Silver 8s, and then we have the F18s in the middle, and then we have the Lee Audio subs. These are all by Lee Audio, okay? Unfortunately, the cost of wood is literally like doubled what it used to be, and you know, the cost to build is now getting to a point where I feel it's like open baffles are not as cost savings as they once were, and that's kind of an unfortunate thing because I felt they were a good option or alternative for those who didn't want to spend a lot of money and still get good sound. And the open baffles are particularly good for jazz. They have a very open, airy kind of sound to them. But later as time went on, Bob and I, spent a lot of time here in the studio doing tests and comparisons and stuff. And I just want to let you guys know that for those that are interested, the best way to learn about audio is to just listen to things. Listen in your own room, because everybody's room is different, and no matter what technical specifications you know about, you're never really going to truly know how anything sounds unless you sit and compare. And that's one of the things I admire that Bob has done. He spent a lot of time, buying gear. And these are the sacrifices you have to make. You lose money in some cases to find out the things that you like or don't like. And those are things that you just have to do to learn. And it can be costly sometimes, but it's worth it in the end. And I think in the end, Bob came out with a fantastic sound system. I think you guys are going to be very pleased with the warm sound of these speakers. They're not shouty, they're not bright, they're not thin sounding. Bob spent a lot of time trying to get the bass modules working good on the bottoms. Now I have to explain to you that the Silver 8s and the F18s are run in parallel, okay? The subwoofers on the bottom are run separately using an amplifier. Now there was a separate amplifier that Bob had for the 15s, but that amplifier could not be used to run these 18s properly. There was some clipping issues, and for that reason Bob had to resort to a different plate amp to run these subwoofers, and I think the results were quite stunning. And it took some time to really get it dialed in, but I think Bob did a wonderful job here, and I think you'll love the sound. And I'm going to do some sound demos with these, as well as the Klipsch Forte ones, which have Kreitz crossovers. I brought them over to the studio from my house, as well as my buddy Mirko was kind enough to bring his Klipsch Heresy 4. So we're going to have songs with those, so you can kind of get the idea of the sound. And we'll have a couple extra songs as well. But I think you'll find this intriguing, pretty enjoyable. And the thing I want to emphasize is how important it is to have a proper power, going to those subwoofers, these 18-inch open baffles. And if you don't have good power going into them, it's going to be a problem. And these subs are run by Dayton Audio amplifier, which puts out really good amount of power to drive them. So very impressive. So let's get into the power amplifier. I'm just going to show you the amp for that and some of the equipment used to run these open baffles. Also, I just want to inform you, due to complications, I was using the Dynaco ST70 from my own ST70, as well as my Dynaco PASIII to do the demos with the Forte, while the Klipsch Heresy 4, as well as the open baffles, were all done with the Space Tech Labs gear. So regardless, I still think it's a fun comparison, and I was quite, Bob and I were both very blown away at how well the Dynaco did. It was truly amazing. So I don't think any of you will be disappointed in the videos. I think all these speakers are wonderful. Something kind of interesting too about the Heresy 4 is I do notice in the mid-range it does have a kind of a resonates a little bit in the mid-range, which is an observation that I noticed. I think you'll hear it in there, but it amazes me how much those little Heresy 4s fill the room, you know, for what they are. You can tell they have a smaller soundstage, but, you know, if you have a small room, they're fabulous little speakers, and I highly recommend them. So I'm going to go over a little bit with the amp here for you on the for the subwoofers. So here we have the Dayton Audio power amplifier. This thing puts out, it's kind of controversial how much power it puts out, but it's like 500 watts or something. I've heard various stories. Regardless of whatever it is, it does run the 18-inch baffles beautifully. And it really made a transformation when Bob got this thing dialed in. It's really nice. Here we have the Space Tech Labs DAC, which is really the most amazing DAC I've ever heard in my life, by far. Then we also have the 300B power amp, which puts out like 200 to 300 watts a channel. And then we obviously have the Space Tech Labs preamp over here. Now, the Dayton Audio will be only runs these 18-inch Baffle subwoofers that you see on the bottom. Bob just integrated them into the panel, but they are run separately through that Dayton Audio. And this is just to give you guys a closer look at the craftsmanship and work on these, and you can see the magnet on the back of that 18 is pretty large, all right? So let's get on with the demos.
She wears her sadness so well, like an old pair of shoes. Can't better throw away. She won't take my embrace, hides away in a shadow. She's like a rose with a thorn. Forest trees stand true attention, like fine soldiers, there is tension. Little Red Riding Hood drives through. She doesn't cry, boo-hoo.
It's incredible, man.
She wears her sadness so well, like an old pair of shoes. Can't better throw away. Take my embrace, hides away in a shadow. She's like a rose with a thorn. She's totally blinded, and she'll burn you, leaving you. Little Red Riding Hood, Little Red Riding Hood. It's a sadness so well, like an old pair of shoes. Can't better throw away. She won't take my embrace, hides away in a shadow. She's like a rose with a thorn. Little Red Riding Hood, Little Red Riding Hood. Forest trees stand true attention, like fine sodas.
On the first day of the journey, the traveler was prepared. Words of consolation were never heard. He didn't know where he was going, just a poem in his mind, and all the things he valued and left behind. Running for the money, running for the fame, lost where he was going and forgot his name. On the first day of the journey, the traveler was prepared. Words of consolation were never heard. He didn't know where he was going, just a poem in his mind, and all the things he valued and left behind. Running for the money, running for the fame, lost where he was going and forgot his name.